Good afternoon, everyone. This is Maria.
This is Tim.
Today is Wednesday, March the 28th, 2018. Welcome to our daily recap.
Maria, before we get started on this hump day, go ahead and give us the closing numbers out there.
Sure, the Dow ended the day down 9 points, closed at 23,848. NASDAQ was down 59 points, closed at 69.49. And the S&P was down 7 points and closed at 26.05.
Before we get started on this, I do want to remind everybody Friday's a holiday. It's Good Friday, so the market's closed, and I'm sure I'll get a bunch of hate mail over this, but yes, some people need reminded of that. Close your options positions tomorrow afternoon for swinging weeklies. Maria, let's go ahead and get started with Tesla. On last night's webinar, we talked about NVIDIA and what had happened there and how we felt like that was probably the biggest catalyst of the day. So we did swing Tesla a put. We had 5 yesterday. This is jointly, and what we trade individually is different. But we had sold 4 of those 5. We swung one that we paid $3.95 for, sold it for 19 and change. It's a very good trade. Got out a little too early. As you can see, that thing kept dropping. Maria, I know you traded it both ways. You and several people in the room actually traded this both ways. Had a credit downgrade. Maria, you may want to pull up a longer term chart on this thing, because at this point, finding support on this thing is
So
a little
let
out
me
there.
first, right, here's the 1 year. So on the 1 year, you can't even really see on the left-hand side. So I went out to a 3-year chart just to get a clear picture, and I am very hesitant to use support levels from that far back. I like using stuff that's a little bit more recent. I'm going to say that I would like to see this ultimately. I really don't want this underneath, probably right around here. And I will give you that number as soon as I get this line on here. So it's my first stop is 250. It's a nice whole number. I really want it to hold that 250. However, under 250, the level that I am keeping it a closer eye on is this one right here at 243. I'm sorry, 242.90, 243.35. Geez, long day, guys. 243.95 is kind of
I
where I
agree
want
with
it to
that.
hold.
I agree with that. If that falls out, then good God, this could be ugly. So keep an eye on Tesla. We did not swing anything tonight, although it does look like it's down in after hours. Going back to that daily, go ahead and pull that up, Maria, if you don't mind. Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah, we'll see how that does tomorrow. Let's talk about a couple of things we picked up as well today, starting with Intel. Intel, we had wanted under 50. We had already been in higher. We've had massive flow in Intel for at least probably 6 weeks. 55s, 57 50s, you name it. I've got 50s. I've also got 52 50s that we own, some out to May, mostly April 20s. Maria, go ahead and show us. You may need a 3-month chart on this one as well. I'll show
Let's
you
look at
where
a
our
six
line in
month.
the sand is. Yeah, let's look at the 6 months. So if we get into a bad tech wreck here and this crosses, Maria, you're better with support and resistance than I am. So
So
show
there's
you where we need this hold.
there's a couple levels I'm looking at. Immediate support that I'm looking at is going to be, and guys, I also want to explain that when I am when I look at support and resistance, for me it's a range. It's never a hard set number. So I usually give support and resistance levels. I don't give just a price. So the first area of support is going to be between 4804 and probably 4830. So the bottom of that area is going to be that 48. Hold on, let's make sure. I'm sorry, 4809. Apparently, I don't know how to read either. So 4809 is that first level. Now, underneath that, there are a couple levels. You have support right here, and this is at 47.21.
That's the one I
You,
don't want it to break. If it breaks
yep.
47.21, then me personally, I'll just dump my Intel for whatever I can get out of it. And I may even go with that first one. But yeah, I see exactly what you're looking at there,
So
and I
this
agree
is
with
the
that. That's
stronger area of support. Like if we're looking back over time, um, I like that. Let me see if I can get this on here. So I like that hold right there. I like this hold right there, right? So there's a couple different areas that we see that that this particular line, even though it's lower than where I want it to be, it's held, or it's we have either support or resistance, which if it's resistance, if it was resistance, it's now support. So definitely a couple areas or a couple levels to keep an eye on. But I agree, there is going to be, I think, a little bit more support at these areas, at this particular line.
I agree with that 100%. So again, we wanted it under 50. Sometimes be careful what you wish for. We did add to our positions. We also added Microsoft today under 90. That one's had incredible flow lately too. The one I really, really liked was the let's see, April. It was July, September 9250s, I believe. Let me go ahead and pull that up where you're showing us some support and resistance on that as well.
So, Tim, I believe those were July 9250s,
No,
if
no,
I
I know the
remember
ones
correctly.
that, right,
Oh,
that
gotcha.
I'm talking about the ones that we're really talking about in the room later in the day that I fell in love with when I looked at them.
Gotcha.
So
So, as far as support is concerned, I'm going to call one, or the beginning of this level, immediate level. We're getting kind of close to it, 88, about 88.67, plus or minus a little bit. Let me see if I can show you the lower level of that. That lower level is going to be, so we have this one, probably around 88, a little bit higher than 88. So that 88 level, I do want it to hold underneath there. We are looking at a little bit of support at 87.05, and underneath that, you'll have a little bit more support around 85.55.
which
But
is
I, sorry, go ahead.
that's where we bought recently as well, and we killed that trade. I hope it doesn't get there. If it does, I'll be a buyer again. Um, but this is why I started recommending the shouldn't say recommending, but talking about the September 9250s as well. Plenty of time, couple of ERs, you would actually get 3 ERs out of it. Maria, I agree with what you said there, 100%. But we did add that one today. We already owned it. We added to it, I should say. A lot of flow in that one as well today. So, yeah, that one. We also added Baba. Let's go ahead and pull up some Baba real quick. The riskier move of the day. We went with 190s for April 20th, I believe.
We did. We went 190, and it was off of, I mean, it was off of close enough to low a day. I want to say we probably bought around here. It was either around here or around here. We picked that up. Those are green right now.
And that one moves. Let's look at a little further chart on that one too, Maria, if you don't mind. Probably a month, 3 months.
Let's try 3 or 6. Here's a 3-month chart on it, and you will have a little bit of support right here, and we'll give you that number, 176.42. Also, keep an eye on this gap. So there is a little bit of a gap there that could potentially fill. Well, actually, technically,
Well,
it's already filled. That gap has
well,
filled. But if it breaks these levels of support, I think that it could try for this lower level around the 170 area, 170 to 171.
if it gets under the 176 range, we will pull out of BABA. We will sell that position. So that is what we're watching now. BABA, when it moves well. For BABA to go to 190, I mean, we could be in the money on that thing tomorrow or Monday, or we could be completely wiped out on that thing tomorrow or Monday. So one of our riskier ones today, but we did go 190s for April. I think it's okay. The
I think it should be.
Maria, I think you added Splunk,
I did.
SPLK.
So Splunk, I like Splunk a lot. Let me get these removed really quickly, and I'll get Splunk pulled up. This is actually a tech money play. So let's get here's a 5-day. We picked up May 100. Um, I like where it's holding, at least on the weekly. On the weekly, it looks good to me. This hold right here, I like that base, and I will add a line for you to see it. I like it, you know, closing above this area.
If you guys got May 100s,
May 100.
go ahead and pull us up. I think it was about a month ago they had ER. So let's go ahead and look at the monthly on that as well.
Actually, here's a 6-month. And and guys, I apologize. For some reason, Thinkorswim has a problem with wireless mouses or mice or whatever. You know what I mean. With if you're on a Mac. And all I have here right now is a wireless mouse. So I'm trying to use my trackpad, which works better. I'm just not as fluid with that. So I
That
apologize
is
if
a
it's taking me
perfect
longer.
line. That is a perfect line. That is your support right there. If
Yeah,
we breach that that one I would sell, but above that, I like this play. I
I like it a
absolutely
lot
like this
too.
play.
And actually,
I'm
here's
jealous.
going to be another. Here's the two. I am thinking that we will probably bounce off of this top line at 95, 94. Underneath that, you do have quite a bit of support at that 92, 92, 96 area.
That one got added by Maria and Tech Money. Maria, let's go ahead and pull up the Qs as well.
Sure.
We had some fun trades in this one. You may want to look at, I don't know, a month, 3 month on this one.
Let's actually go 6 months. It'll give us a little bit of a clearer idea. Um, so, you can see this like nice little steady stair step type of pattern. We got hit with the volatility, worked its way back up, and now working its way back down. So there are a couple of levels that we are watching. One of those levels actually was broken, um, for me anyway, just a little bit. So I was actually watching right here. I was watching this line at 157.25, and that you can see that it flashed. The wick there. The wick is underneath that. So underneath there, what I'm looking for is a hold right here, and that is at 155.77.
Yeah, if we get under that, it could be interesting. Hopefully, how are the Qs doing after hours?
Let's take a look and
Go ahead and
see.
look at that. Yeah,
So, nice move back up to 158 right now.
I hope that holds and continues because I know we're holding a few techs. Good range today, good scalps. I had 3 shorts on the Qs. Did not catch any longs. You probably caught some. Well, heck, you traded this and SPY today, so
Yeah,
I
I
guess the
did.
SPY. Let's look at that SPY chart as well.
Sure.
I just want to look at the daily real quick because that had some really good moves.
Yeah, it did. It actually had some really, really nice moves. We scalped this several times throughout the day.
Yeah, knew you and Ketchup in a Box and a few actually had traded that. And we don't call out a lot of those Q trades and SPY trades because, God, in a market like this, I mean, you know,
You
you're
can't.
short, and the next candle, you're gone. So yeah, very erratic moves there. Again, how's that look after hours? Go ahead and pull that one up.
So after hours, we are at, a nice similar type of upward movement. A little bit of red coming in on this candle. 260.55, 56 is where we're at right now.
Okay, we will take that. Anything green in after hours for right now. Like I say, we are holding a lot of tech positions. Not over. I mean, it's not a ton. We believe in that. Never be 20 or 30% over 20 to 30% invested at any one time. Maria, let's pull up Amazon, and you may have to pull up a little further out chart on Amazon as well. A lot of drama with that one this morning. Trump was going to tax internet sales, and then the White House came out, Sarah Huckabee, or whatever her name is, came out and said that they're not doing that. And I believe Amazon caught a little bit of a bounce off that, but it was an interesting day. Under 1400, I eyeballed it. I know you actually had a short on this thing at one point today. I did not
Yeah.
trade it in any direction. Um,
So what's interesting is that Amazon, this is the line actually yesterday that I was looking at. Right here, I have that red line there, and that is at, come on, tell me. That one is at 1387.20. That's the line I was looking at. It flashed down. It hit a low today and came back up. So that was one area that I was looking at as a potential, I mean, at least for it to bounce at. So I was looking there. We also, Tim, and please correct me if you see it differently. I'm also watching right here.
that's the line that's definitely a line I'm looking at.
So right through here, even the top of that wick works for me.
Top of the wick.
So
Actually, I like probably the body of that just a little bit more. Um,
exactly.
but yeah, close enough.
So here we go.
That right there was definitely a little resistance, a little support. That's definitely a line to keep your eyes on. What number is that one?
This one is, as soon as the box comes up, 1322.67.
That would be my line in the sand. That would be my line in the sand on Amazon. I would. Uh, anyway, I know we did have a couple people when it broke 1400 actually went long out to ER, and they were happy to get those prices. So we'll see. Definitely wishing everybody luck on that one. But at least maybe the drama with are they going to be taxed or not out of it. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's
And I do think that this level that it hit today, I think that there's sufficient support there. Um, I don't want to call it heavy support, but I think there's sufficient support for right now, at least looking back through this area. Um, and I believe, let me go back to the day as soon as I get this taken off. If we go back to the daily on it, 1386.17. So it bounced close enough to a double bottom for me, almost a triple bottom, not quite. And that's kind of where it turned around. Granted, there was news or a headline that helped move it back up. I think that Amazon still has a lot of bullish sentiment, and I think that this could potentially try to make its way back up.
I agree with you 100%. They're taking over the world, so you can't go to business to take over the world. Um, and
Exactly.
Mario, go ahead and pull up Autodesk as well. ADSK.
Absolutely.
This is
So here,
one that, yeah, this is one I'm looking at 135s for May. It's a little out of the money, but it gives me through the next ER. Recent high of 141. It's just well off 10% off its highs at this point. Um, so this one's one I'm looking at. I did not buy it today, but it is one that I'm probably going to add tomorrow. So I am looking at, go ahead and pull up a little longer term chart. They blew out the ER. I mean, this thing was marching to 150. Got a couple gaps. That one that went down, filled it going up. Hopefully we're not going to fill it again back down to 118-ish area, it looks like. Maybe 120. I think it was 118 before ER. So yeah, that one is one I'm looking to add. Like I say, I'm looking at 135s for May, which would get me right through the next ER. Definitely one to keep an eye on right there. And that one's,
yeah,
where did that close at on the day?
I believe, let me go to it really quickly before I flip over there. Here are the gaps that Tim was talking about. A little bit of support through those gaps. However, actually, today being one of them, I'll throw that line on there real quick. That to me looks like it could be a potential hold, or it could potentially hold that area. Another area that we'll want to keep an eye on. I think it's right here, the bottom of, right here. And that is at 122.82. So even throughout the gaps, I think that there's a little bit of support from going backwards. So today, let's see, we closed at 124.55.
Yeah. So this one again, and that probably seems somebody's, going to send me that email that says, "Man, why are you buying so far out of the money?" Listen, I got time. This thing can move $4 and $5 a day, and if it gets under that 122 area, I'll cut it. Maria, another one on the list. Andrew Left had went short Twitter yesterday. TWTR. I know you know the symbol. Actually was green on a volatile day today. Actually was decent. So we had actually had 33s that we'd got out of. So now we can go to a lower strike for ER, a lot cheaper than we got those 33s. So while Andrew Left cost us about $80, in the long run it probably helps. Let's keep an eye on Twitter as well.
I agree.
A
I
little
really
longer
do
term
like,
chart.
and I like it under 30. I like it. I like an entry under 30. So I'm happy to see that turnaround today. Nice little U-shape, not little, but nice U-shaped pattern starting to come in, half a cup, handle-ish. So I like it under 30.
I do too, going into ER especially. So Twitter definitely on the list of things with Autodesk I want to pick up. Netflix, let's look at Netflix real quick. This thing yesterday in the room we talked about, I think it was at 309.75, shorting it to 300. Some people actually played that. I did not. There was a couple trades in it today, but Netflix, see, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up the ER on that. I believe they're the 13th. Let me look while you're playing with the chart. Yeah. So they have ER on the afternoon of April 16th. So I was actually looking at the April 13th, 300s, 680 at the close. It just depends. Does Netflix hold here or not? That's one I definitely have on the list because it will juice into ER. And that thing was just on fire before all this, little tech wreck and Andrew Left thing shorted to 300. So this one I want to get, I'm looking at 300 calls $300 calls for April 13th.
So looking a little bit further back, I went ahead and threw a couple levels that I want to keep an eye on. Today's low being one of them. Um, Underneath that, around 278, 279-ish. I would like, if Netflix were to continue down, I would like to see a turnaround there. Um, there is one more level that I'm going to keep an eye on myself. Tim, you'll probably like this support level a little bit better. Right, well, it actually falls right through here. But to stay on the safe side, I would put it 274.33.
Yeah, I mean 275 is a good whole number, anyway. So anywhere around that's going to be definite support. Another one, Maria, you had mentioned to me earlier was ATVI.
Yeah, so ATVI. I saw a bunch of flow in ATVI today. Here is the weekly. Now it doesn't look so pretty. Starting to see a little bit of a cup form here. And let me get, there was, I read a headline not specific to ATVI, but it was something from one of the analysts, Piper Joffrey. So the firm said that video game publisher weakness brings buying opportunity. And I feel like this sector is one that we often look at, and at least I don't play it enough. I have played it recently. I played EA recently. That was a really nice trade. However, I think that ATVI, EA, TTWO, those three are definitely on my list to keep an eye on to go long.
I agree with you 100%. 100% on
And,
that.
right. And then here is a 6 month. And
Oh
actually,
yeah.
here's the bottom of that wick right there. But I really like, personally, again, if it was a perfect world, I'd want, I'd like it a lot around 63. 63 to 63.50, maybe 64 would be ideal in my mind. However, on a shorter time frame, I like where it's at.
Let's I I like ATVI too, so let me know if you get in those. I may join you. Lululemon. Talk
Lulu.
about sweatpants. Killer ER. Didn't play. I didn't play it today. It's just one of those days where, yeah, I didn't play it. Actually, I didn't see a play. As far as options, I didn't see a trade that was for me. I'm sure some people did. I could have played it with stock pretty easily, and probably should have. But as far as options, it wasn't worth it for me.
And you know what else is surprising is, and actually Lulu broke the rule last quarter. I don't remember the quarter prior to that, but normally Lulu used to sell off after ER. Remember, like it would
It would
pop and
gap.
then yeah.
Yeah, it would gap, give it back, and then come back slowly over time. But yeah, this quarter, last quarter, gap and go. And Tech Money said, over 82 Lulu's to the moon. So
And look at
he
this.
was right on that.
I did not see this. I did not look at the longer time frame on Lulu yesterday. Look at all that consolidation right through here. Just gorgeous channel. So good ER, that pop and that hold, that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind.
It makes sense in my mind. So, I'll keep my eye on Lulu if I get a good enough opportunity because then I would go along with some calls on Lulu a little further out probably. RH, monster day on RH too. I mean, geez, the numbers were a little confusing to me, but I mean, fuck, what a day.
RH had a really good day. Again, I remember saying in the room, I don't understand why it's up, but it's up. I did not play it. I thought about it, but I picked other tickers to play. However, what was so confusing was the fact that They beat on EPS, but actually missed on rev and guided down on rev for both the next quarter and full year. But the company plans to implement some kind of growth program or turnaround program. I don't know if that's what caused it to continue to go up. I still have not had a chance to go fully through the ER myself or to read the transcript to see what else was said. But RH is known for those weird moves. So awesome job, Bulls. Congratulations. I'm happy that you guys are green today.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
I will definitely keep an eye on it.
You know, we had a one of our friends on StockTwits wanted us to look at AMD. Now, AMD
Yeah.
we had been talking about for the last few months. You know, had been taking her meds, was acting stable, wasn't trading like a penny stock anymore. Um, we've seen some crazy options activity over AMD over the last month that confused me, you, and some of the best of
Mhm.
us out there. I mean, it was just, you know, and then you had all these rumors with it. Yeah, go ahead and pull out, I don't know, 6 months on this. May even have to go a yearly. No, that'll work.
So, yeah, this is a 6 month. Sitting, right at well, you can call it support, but it's actually broken where I would have wanted it to hold. But you do have this
It's
low of 970 back here.
yeah, a little under. Pull up. Go ahead and pull up a yearly on it just for shits and gigs.
Sure.
We had actually last Thursday, I believe, last Thursday bought 13 calls for ER. Um, Small position. Yeah, I mean, uh,
This is where I wanted it. This is where I really, really wanted it to stay. And that is at 996. It's not super far off. I still like AMD. Longer term, I was thinking that we were probably done trading like a penny stock, and I hesitate to say that because it's not a penny stock. However, I feel like AMD is back off of her meds. So we're going to try to get her a prescription ASAP. But if you are
absolutely.
in, the level that I'm going to keep an eye on is really that low at 970.
If it breaks that, then yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But that's where I definitely want to tell. Speaking of meds, let's pull up Amy, AMR,
Yeah. Let
real quick.
me get this line taken off. And let's get a 5 day. So Amy was down 21 cents or so today, I believe. So it took a little bit of a drop, was holding pretty well intraday. I saw it intraday and it was holding right through here, which I was liking a lot. But we have until September.
We haven't set till September. We are still bulls on AMRS, and we are still holding.
We are.
Let's go ahead. While we're talking about lower price stocks, go ahead and pull up AKER. That had a flash down under support at 75 today, and tell us what happened there as well.
So Acre, let me get the daily pulled up so you can see what happened. Here's the daily. And the reason that this happened was because they rescheduled their earnings call. So they rescheduled it. That time was 11:20 Eastern. And this drop started at 11:23. It flashed down, hit a low of roughly 70, right above 70. However, bounced back up and closed above 80. Actually closed at almost 83. 8.8299 was the close. I still like it above 75. That's like the line in the sand for me. Under 75, I don't like it very much, but above 75, I think it's okay.
Maria, let's go ahead and pull up KTOS as well. KTOS.
So here's the weekly on it. Let me get the 1 day pulled up. Here's the 1 day. I don't know what caused this bump this morning. I did not see any news. I did look for news, did not find any. If I do find some tonight, I will update that in tomorrow's video. I do like this one. I know it's a little bit of a lower price stock. It is, but it is in the defense sector, and I do like that sector overall. I still think that there's a little bit of room for that sector in general to go. So I will keep an eye on this one.
And one last low float stock, TXMD.
This one
Interesting day. I
also,
didn't see news.
yeah, I also did not see news on this one. But nice move. Let's get a 5-day pulled up. Nice move. I would want this to hold, at least for me. I want it to hold the bottom of the low today, the bottom of that wick, that $5 area. I would not want it to go underneath that. I know it's really, really close to that spot. Me personally, I would not want it under there.
I agree with that 100%. STZ, one of our favorite companies, ER in the morning, had some monster flow back on February 27th, 28th, 26th. Can't remember. Monster flow on STZ. Now they have ER in the morning. It's a Kramer fave as well. Yeah, there you go. Look at that flow on the 27th.
So on the 27th, we had that $4 million block, followed by a $3 million block, followed by another $3 million block, and a sweep for 736,000 on that day. So ER in the morning, it can move a large amount on ER.
So they had bought the 220s for July, it looks like. So they get this ER and looks like the run up to another one. Actually, no, they would get this ER and one more. So I mean, they fired some bullets there. That's, geez, 11 million bucks.
Yeah.
So definitely want to keep your eyes on their STZ. Maria, is there anything else with ER tomorrow that you can think of? Looks like it's going up after hours there too.
Yeah, it is up after hours, which is a good thing. I like that. They, I will be watching their ER very closely. So tomorrow, as far as ERs are concerned, STC was the big one. For me, Worthington Industries is tomorrow. I did not see anything after hours that I was watching personally. Really, the main one was STZ.
Anything on the after hours scanner? We'll wrap this up.
Let's look. So PVH had ER. This is one we actually talked about in the room before the close. They are up on okay volume, 277,000 shares, a 3% move. So that was definitely that one I will keep an eye on as well. GameStop, GME, what's going on with them? I know that they had ER. However, I think they popped and then kind of dropped. They may have worked their way up a little bit. And I believe that the issue was with their guidance. They're up. I mean, I think the current quarter was okay, but I think that the guidance full year guidance they saw is declining 2 to 6%. So I think that was probably what attributed to that drop. We'll get it pulled up so that you can see it here a little bit clearer. So yeah, oops, did not mean to do that. It popped up 1560 and made its way back down, up slightly, nothing huge. So we'll see what happens with it tomorrow.
Got anything else on the scanner there?
Let me look. Boeing is up like 0.6%. Yay, go Boeing. VIPs
Go Boeing.
on some decent volume. Not a huge move, just up a little bit. There's not really NUE. I like NUE a lot too.
So, okay. Good deal. Well, everybody, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow evening.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Please subscribe, like, and share our video. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. We'd love to hear from you. If you have specific tickers that you want us to cover, please put that in the comments and we will cover it tomorrow. Aside from that, have a great evening. Stay green. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.